On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, we are here to try to make bad ideas come to life. And hopefully in the end, we've got a muffler on the old Camaro. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Chair Go, and like I said, we are here with that 1993 Z28 Camaro, and today we need to put the muffler on it. So I have the stock exhaust right here. These are the pipes, the factory tips, even though something looks super weird about it. I don't remember them facing the same way, but the cuts, the slant cuts are the same way, so maybe that is how they go. And here we have the Walker direct fit muffler for this. It's an 18375, and I measured it real quick with the calipers, and it does look like the old pipes will fit inside of the new pipes on that muffler. So here's why the old one's no good. Obviously, she's toast. So we need to replace that muffler with that new Walker one. Now everybody knows I'm no welder or fabricator. I don't pretend to be a welder. I've done a couple test hits and I feel like they're okay, and I don't want to be a fabricator. It's just not what I'm into. I want to wrench on things. I don't want to build exhaust systems. But today we're going to do exactly that, I think. We're about to find out. So I've got this muffler here. I think what we're going to do is put, first we're going to cut the, I don't know how we're going to do it actually. We need to hang this one back up on the car, get everything kind of positioned, cut the pipes. It's really hard to do. I honestly think this is easier to just do on the ground. I don't think the car buys us anything because there's only one clamp and then the car's exhaust clamps onto that, and that's all there is holding the whole thing up. So I don't know if putting it on the car buys us anything. I think in reality I should just grab the Sawzall, cut the pipes and the tips off of here, and then try to put it back together in a way that makes sense. So we're gonna put some cardboard down to protect the floor, and I'm gonna get some measurements end to end on the tips. I think that's all that really matters. We do need to get the angle right for the muffler itself because that's kind of critical to how that all fits in there, where the tips sit. And that's it. I think after that I get to try to figure out if I can weld. This should all fit. Here's the OD of this pipe, 2.23 inch. And the ID of this pipe, it slides right in pretty nicely. So this is actually 2.27. Hopefully that all works out. So I don't know for sure, but this one matches, which is the one that connects to the car, although it's not notched like that one is. So maybe I'll have to put some slits in it so that it can crush into the car. But a Sawzall blade should make quick work of that. Also, I know the Walker's called a direct fit, but I have this end lined up. Actually, right there's probably lined up a little bit better. And you can see that it is way shorter, almost a full inch shorter. So luckily they give you a bunch of pipe that should slide into and let you make your welds and put everything back at the same width as stock. So this is definitely a little bit tricky, but I'm gonna try to make it happen. All right, there's no going back after this, but all we can really do here is do it. So it's time to do it. Put the blade right about just inside of the old weld, just outside of it, I mean. All right, one tip off. Now for the other one. Old muffler gone. New muffler time. So I set this so I could try to maintain the angle of the muffler. I'm not sure that's working, but it's worth a shot. Look at that, it fits inside. Doesn't even need deburred over here. Okay, so we are definitely too close. We need a little more angle here, I think. That's about the angle. Before we go full send, I'd like to put a straight edge on here and make sure the tips are gonna line up right. And that seems like the lineup point. I've got 035 wire in the welder, and I'm very aware that I should change it, but I'm not gonna do it because you gotta change the tip, you gotta rewind all the wire, it seems like a lot of work, and I'm just gonna put initial tacks on right now, and then we're gonna go fit it on the car. So, let's put those tacks on there. I think we can get it done with that wire and not blow through this thing. Good old Harbor Freight OmniPro 220. Grab our ground. Looks like a good ground to me. Before we get too far, let's see what we're working on here. Looks like 17 gauge sheet metal. We'll run the auto setup since I don't know anything about welding. Yeah, C25, everything's set up, and the diameter is, oh yeah, 17 gauge. 18 gauge ought to work with 035 wire. Confirm. So the welder sets everything up automatically, 94 inches a minute, 14.2 volts. Let's put some tacks on this thing. I guess that's a tack. It ain't great. That one will hold it. I think I've got a lot of corrosion and stuff in here. Obviously I didn't clean the stock exhaust, so probably should have, but we'll put a couple more tacks on and see what happens. We've got the car back up on the lift. It's time for the million-dollar question, and that is, will it fit? So the factory rubber isolator hanger is still up here, and then this clamp holds everything on, so I'm gonna pull that clamp off. I bet the old exhaust fit over this. Actually, I'm about 100% sure it fit over this. So we might actually need to cut those slots so that it can clamp down onto this. And hopefully that gets it done. Let's test fit this thing. There we go. Here's our hanger. It goes apparently like so. Should sit in there about like that. Oh, it fits so nicely. I think this works. Weirdly, it seems like it's farther in, but honestly, it can't move from there. There's no way for that to happen. Well, the tips look level to me, which is important. And we can probably aim them up just a little bit tighter, but that's probably about exactly where they need to go. Let's weld this thing up, clamp it on. Then one bolt holds this thing onto the hanger and keeps it in there. So I'm ready to put some welds on here. Not bad for a piece of cardboard and the metal hot glue gun, right? Well, hey, no one's ever confused me with a welder before, and I'm sure they still will continue to not confuse me with a welder. But take a look at these. I think we got it in there. Or it's just a bunch of wire built up on top of it, one of the two. Time to do a little grinding. All right, let's test fit this thing. Here we go. I did add some relief cuts in there so that we could slide it over. So we'll bring it on here just a little bit more. Oop. There we go. Stay. Put this nut on here, that should keep it from falling. And then we can figure out what we're gonna do here. Probably right there. Well, there you go. That's my first time ever putting a stock exhaust back on a car, and I'm pretty proud of it. The welds might not be pretty, but I don't think it's gonna leak. And I was using a flap disc, so yeah, I kind of hit everything with the sandpaper there, but I don't think it's gonna leak. Let's fire it up. First off, how's it look? Mostly invisible because those tips are like black. Secondly, they both seem like they angle down a little bit, but they're perfectly straight. I don't know how that happened because it was literally put on a straight edge before we started tacking. Let's see how it sounds though. This is the important part. Much quieter. It sounds like a brand new Camaro. That's exactly what we were going for. Here comes the idle down. Let's go drive this thing. Let me get it off the lift. I almost forgot about the AC. And of course you can see we've got the new hood struts. Those just went in. Hood, much better. We've got 13-ish minutes left on the vacuum pump. Then I'm gonna let it sit for about 15 for a leak check. Then we're gonna charge this thing. It takes 2 pounds and we'll see. Maybe the AC works after that. I hope it does. It was basically empty. There was 0.24 in the system, which is about as empty as they come. And the AC is charged. I'm back here with Max, who owned it a couple days ago when the fire was going down. And today he's gonna drive it again. So you get to relive the memories with the car.
That'd be awesome.
And well, I mean, it's been a while since you've driven it.
It's been probably a year.
Okay, all right. So it was sitting for a long time, and now it's kind of cleaned up. You know, we didn't polish it, but you know, there's only so much polishing you can do once the clear starts failing,
right,
before you just take the clear off.
Yeah.
So we're gonna back this thing out of here and take it for a drive. Hopefully enjoy some AC and nice, you know, chill exhaust. Should be fun. We've got working AC. Max said he'd worked on the AC before too, had some people try to fix it, and I found dye in there, so obviously people have been troubleshooting over the years, probably O-rings, something like that, but it does have cold AC, which is all that matters when it's, what is it today? It's 88 and about to tornado. 88 and the tornado should be here in 2 hours is what they're saying. So, well, what do you think?
Oh, I miss it.
Send it.
AC cuts out.
Yeah, they always do.
Yep. I forgot about that when you leave the AC on.
Yep. Well, what do you think after your first time driving it in a year?
I'm gonna miss it.
Also, we can barely hear the thing running over the AC fan, over the blower motor, which is crazy. That it's so much quieter.
It's silent.
Yeah, I put the exhaust on and I was like, it's not that quiet. It's still kind of loud. No, it sounds great actually. I love it. So now you can listen to your music. You don't have to turn the system all the way up. I do, you know, the radio's always at like 50 to actually hear it, almost all the way up.
45 to 50.
Yeah, I feel like now you could probably hear it at 30, which is pretty good. So anyway, we're out driving this thing, having some fun before this weather hits. It's back on the road. Well, there you have it. I think that's my entire to-do list on this car knocked out. AC recharged, hood struts, exhaust back on the car. It sounds actually quieter than we thought. It's really quiet. It seemed really loud in the shop, really quiet out on the road. And it drives, and Max got to relive the memories from a year ago.
Yep.
So that's it. I'm done with this car, I think. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchshareo.com for cool shirts just like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I will talk to you next time. We've been going around the shop comparing the Flowtech to the Hooker Blackhearts, just doing exhaust demos. Because we went over, you got to go see my car too. Yep. So I love my exhaust note. I think it's kind of exactly what this needs, but that's like $1,300.
Right.